So quit sticking your stupid ass BattleNet where it doesn't belong.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Server Restart In. It's a weekly World of Warcraft podcast where three opinionated players get together to discuss their thoughts about the current state of the game. My name is Jim, joined by Kristen.
Hello.
And Brian.
Why does she always go first?
Because
Why can't it be me sometimes?
I have done you first sometimes.
He has, yeah.
I bet you have.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
It's going to be one of those nights.
It is. So, it looks like, what is today? Today
Friday.
is, yep.
It's Friday.
Recently,
Friday.
oh God, I hate that song. Now we're going to get copyright strikes on it.
Oh, no, God, no.
I don't think she knows what that is.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Dang.
You're definitely not getting any tonight now.
I was talking about Rebecca Black.
Me. He was talking about her.
I was talking about the
Yeah.
that's the person that sang that song. Yeah. Anyway, so I guess right now there's currently a beta going on in WoW for what they're calling the WoW Classic Season of Mastery. Have you heard about this at all?
No. What's the Season of Mastery?
Have you heard about it, Brian?
I think so. Isn't it like isn't it kind of like Diablo 3 did like seasons where you level up fresh?
Yeah. So they're going to be starting new classic servers, and they're going to have the content releases happen at a faster pace. Basically, the entire patch is going to be released over the period of a year. So every couple of months, you're going to get a different phase. And they're also going to update a bunch of the raid bosses to make them more difficult. So I guess what they went in when they did WoW Classic initially was they strived to make it as close to the original release as possible from version 1.2 or 1.1.2 or whatever. 1.12, yeah, was the patch. So with that, though, that doesn't take into account the players and just how good the players are now. And not just that, but how they just know how to game the system, so to speak. So they're updating a bunch of the raid bosses to make them a bit more difficult. You know, they're removing some world buffs in raid instances.
Really?
Yeah, so like Rallying Cry of the Dragon Slayer, when you go into an instance, it'll be disabled. So they're increasing the health pool. Yeah, they're going to make these a little bit more challenging. Not as, you know, like a bunch of noobs going in and just beating their faces against it, but it's the whole point is to try and make it more challenging for players rather than just something they can just go in and do, right?
Right.
They're going to implement a buff for faster leveling. They're saying that they're going to say that it's the experience gain stuff is going to be closer to 1 through 60 in BC. And there's going to be, it's a faster rate, and more of the focus is going to be on quest XP increases. They're changing meeting stones to summoning stones so that in Classic you'll be able to summon people rather than have to run to the dungeons. It's a quality of life.
Wait, what did it do?
I mean,
meeting stones were just markers to indicate where the entrance to the dungeon was. They were not summoning stones until Lich King?
I don't remember when it happened.
Yeah, you couldn't. They were just there to go, this is where the entrance is.
Yeah.
This is where everybody meets to group up, right? Now they're actually going to be summoning stones so that you can form a group and summon everybody there instead of waiting for somebody to spend 2 hours going from Ironforge to...
Or making a warlock summon you.
Yeah.
You know?
Interesting.
And they're going to increase mining and herbalism nodes because apparently the realms are more densely populated than they were in 05. So they're going to increase the node spawns and add more nodes and all that stuff so that it's going to, I guess, supposedly help the economy a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see. The open beta for that started on the 5th. So, and they're looking for feedback on it. So I think that's pretty neat. It's a good thing because it's going to be, I don't know how repeatable that's going to be. You know, like once people get into that rhythm, but like if they were to make things like minor changes for each season and have something a little bit different each time, you know, I could see that. Or, you know, I don't know.
Does your character stay, or does it go away after the season ends?
That I don't know. It doesn't say what happens to the servers afterwards. You know, if they're going to maybe go into a BC version or what.
Oh yeah, I bet they'll just do it like just let it live on till whenever, and then they'll spin up another one. Because at that point, they just got people, and if you want to move off, you can pay to move off.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their intent is for the life cycle moving forward for these things, but it is a neat thing, and what it's gonna do is gonna allow people that maybe miss the release of Classic to kind of go in and get that a kind of Classic feel, you know. I don't know.
With a little bit quicker leveling, I think that'll be actually kind of good, honestly.
Yeah, and if it's going to be something that'll happen every now and then, you know, it'll be like, it's a way to entice new players to jump in, you know, and kind of relive some of that stuff. And everybody's starting from scratch, so to speak. So it's like not like you're coming onto a Classic server that's out there and it's been out there and is dead, or is, you know, populated more so with one faction versus the other. So, I don't know. I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I like my quality of life changes.
I mean, and they're adding some of that in there. And who knows? I mean, they might make some more changes throughout the thing, you know, because it's just an open beta right now. It's not finalized.
Right. No, that's just like I played Classic during Classic. So, like, going back in to play it just didn't really hold a super lot of appeal to me, you know?
Yeah.
It is funny because, like, every time I was the same way. Like, well, I mean, I was super excited for it, and then I got into it, and I'm like, I don't really care that much.
Yeah.
Like, all that money I spent on BC, and then I'm like,
yeah, I never even
I'm
played
done.
it. Yeah. Yeah, same. It was just, you know.
Well, it's the same thing with Diablo 2, right? You know, the Diablo 2 Resurrected came out, and it's just like, yeah, you know, it's, you know, what it costs $40 or whatever to get it and all that stuff. But like you go and you play it and it's like, man, this feels exactly like it did, or is what I remember, you know, and maybe there's some changes, maybe there's not. I mean, obviously the graphics are changed, because it doesn't feel like they've changed when you're playing it. But if you hit that button to flip and you actually see what it used to look like,
really,
it's jarring.
I never
And
played
I think
Diablo
that
2,
the
so.
worst part about it is that there is a latency when you go to walk over and pick up gold and stuff.
Oh.
It's very noticeable. It feels like it's web. It's like going over the internet. The actions, like you're going against a server somewhere, and it's not a localized game. And Diablo 2 originally was a localized game. It didn't, like, you could connect to somebody. However that worked, I think there was a host.
It was
everybody connects
Battle.net.
to you type of thing.
It was
Right, but I mean,
Battle.net,
it was a client server
like a peer-to-peer type.
setup, yes. And this feels like very much that there's a centralized server somewhere that you're trying to talk to while you're looting, such as like my World of Warcraft is set up as. So, and that really eats away at me because I'm like, you go by it and it's like, nope, oh, ching, okay. I'm like,
But
so quit sticking your stupid ass Battle.net where it doesn't belong.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to somebody that, you know, we both worked with. You know, he was asking about it. You know, I thought about it. I'm like, man, it feels like it did. It's just like, but back when Diablo 2 came out, you were coming right off of Diablo. It was what, the late 90s, mid to late 90s when Diablo 2 came out and all that stuff. So it was unique.
No, Diablo 2 was 2000.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll double check. Release date. Original. Meow.
Oh, I guess it was.
Yeah, 29, 2000. Yep, because Diablo 1 was like 90, I'm guessing 96 or 97.
Okay. Well, okay. So, but even then, at the time, it was
97. Boom! Yeah, I'm old. Old enough.
Back then, it still felt new and unique, and like the grinding stuff wasn't bad. You know what I mean? It's like, because you never really did that before. So it's like, oh, we're doing this stuff. We're trying to get all this new stuff. And nowadays, you go back to it, and it's just like, I don't want to play like this anymore. It's something to jump in and kill time with, maybe, and be kind of like, okay, yeah, but like, I mean, there are still people that play it. You still see posts all the time for people posting their freaking legendary things that they get. Like, I would see that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still playing it whenever I have a chance. I bought it again on Switch, and I've been playing that because I found that it's very much a good sit down and play in bed game on Switch. So
yeah, I mean,
like as odd as it sounds, I'd compare it along the lines of Stardew Valley.
Well, yeah, but that's just it. It's like you can jump in, go out, kill a bunch of stuff, and then log out, and then just pick it right back up.
And it's cross-platform too, so like I can log out there and get on PC and play, or whatever, vice versa. So it actually
is that just the online characters, not the offline ones? Because you got 2 sets of characters you can make.
That's a good question. I'm not actually sure which. Like, I took most defaults, so, and I just know that character pops up again, and I play him again. So,
but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to go back. Everybody talks about wanting to go back, and they do, and like, sure, some people live for it, some people whatever, but like for the most part, yeah, and I think about, so who was it? It was what? J. Allen Brack was the one when he was talking about Classic, when people were asking for vanilla servers. He says, "You think you want it, but you don't really want it." Okay, Jadoobie. You sound like Djibouti, whatever.
Jadoobie. Jadoobie.
You think you want it, but you don't actually want it at all. So, I think he was right, because we're getting a vanilla WoW, and it's not classic. So current WoW is becoming more and more vanilla.
Huh?
And they're removing anything that's sexually suggestive. Right?
It's a shitty segue. I got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So,
a shitty segue.
So one of the most recent things that have come out is they are removing a lot of the /joke and /flirts that are sexually suggestive. Now, it seems to me that
Did they take out /sex though?
I don't think they put it in.
Was there a /sex?
Maybe you should make your own, I guess.
I guess.
If they take out make your own emote mode, they can just go screw themselves, because
Oh, God. Well, I mean, really, only your faction can see them. So, like, I guess I could understand, like, why they took out, like, spit and stuff like that. Whatever. I mean, it's,
sure.
But for the flirts, like,
I don't know. Most people playing this game are teens or above, because that's the ESRB rating, right? Teen or above. And, it's just like, I'm going to have to sit there, and I'm never going to hear somebody, do a /LOL or whatever, and hear, is that a mana worm in your pocket? Are you just happy to see me anymore? You know what I mean?
Oh, do they remove that?
Yes. All kinds of them. And these are not, you can't you don't know which ones are coming in, right? When you do it,
Right.
you know, it's random.
Right.
It's not like an emote where you can sit there and spam an emote and get the one you want, right?
Yeah.
So you can't really necessarily use it for targeted harassment, so to speak, right? Because it's not a guarantee. So I feel like what's happening is even though this is the dev team making these decisions, identifying these things and taking them out. This is not coming from player feedback, or if it is, it's a very small minority of feedback, because I don't know anybody. Okay, I guess it's
They
kind
didn't
of.
consult me. I mean, I'm not really a player anymore.
But I mean, it's just I can't imagine that it is a substantial amount of people that are offended by these things, and it's just like, you know, this is the whole thing with like blanket punishments, right? Somebody does something wrong, and so you change something which in effect punishes everybody. You know, even the people that were adult enough to handle stuff like that and not deal with it. It's like, you know, if you're gonna, you know, everybody's gonna be in a fucking bubble, and everybody's gonna be safe, and you're gonna have your fucking safe space, and it's just like it's turning.
It's not terrible that they want people to be safe. I mean,
No,
but it feels like it's bad the way they're going about it.
I just don't think that removing sexual innuendos or sexually suggestive content is achieving anything.
Yeah.
Because it's not harassment. You know, if some of the stuff, because one of them is one of the Tauren ones that basically says that, you know, they don't swing that way, basically indicating that they're not into same-sex stuff, right? So why not make it more robust and add some that are, you know, more inclusive, and then give players an option to toggle which ones they want their characters to say. You know, if you want your character to be, you know, homosexual,
Right.
you know, to be gay or same-sex oriented or both or whatever, make it a fucking, you know, customization option where you can set those flags and your character can act accordingly.
That's cool. Yeah.
You know, don't remove stuff
Right.
to make it more inclusive. Add stuff to include.
Yeah.
Because when you add things, you become more inclusive. When you remove them, you become less inclusive, because now nobody gets any satisfaction from it. You know, or enjoyment, whatever. You know, you can smirk all you want for my choice of words. They were not intended to be anything other than what I said.
Let the record be known that I was not smirking.
No, you were okay.
It was not.
You were side smiling.
Oh, side smiling.
Innuendo.
Oh no.
But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's better ways to handle this, and it's like, you know, rather than just go in and just start ripping stuff out because somebody.
But here's the thing, and this is the realistic thing about this whole ordeal, is that it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks at this point, because if anybody else opposes these things, you are automatically categorized as a person that does not align with the. You're just automatically the bad side of the situation. It doesn't matter, even if you, in the slightest, if you think the other way, and whether it be negative, positive, or whatever, from whosever perspective it may be from, it just doesn't even matter.
You know, and that's the problem.
And at the end of the day, that is the same exact problem.
It is. Everything
may solve it. It's probably going to solve it for, you know, not a handful, like a less than 50% of the people that have to be affected by it. It's not solving anything for. It's actually creating another problem, right? So that's the bigger issue. It's, again, just instead of trying to address things as a community, they're just taking it upon themselves and try to erase whatever they can so they don't have to deal with it. It is literally a parent situation where they just say, I don't care. You're all done with. I don't want to hear about it ever again. That's all it is.
It's fine.
Because honestly, it's controversy. It's controversial to tons of people, and tons of people are going to disagree one way or the other, and it's just always going to be that way. And that's what really sucks about it, is that people are going to take it, and some people have a right to take it more personal than others. Obviously, it has affected some people to a certain extent that maybe you and I cannot imagine or express or even try to interpret. But it still sucks when you're part of this game and you not only pay to be a part of it, but you chose to spend so much time of your life in it. And then it gets kind of just turned upside down by most likely a group of developers on a team that have not been there the entire time. And that has nothing to do with who actually was there causing problems, but more so that like players have been longer with the community than some developers have, or lots of developers most likely, that are making these decisions, right? So who's actually right?
Right.
You know?
And that's just it. Nobody's right.
Because it is okay to have some of these jokes in there. That's what they are. They're fucking jokes. Yeah. Right?
Yeah,
and we've had jokes like this for years and decades and stuff, and it's like, it's funny because Jim, you're talking about some stuff earlier about Tenacious D.
Right. I was gonna bring that up. Yeah, because we just watched that last night. It was Kristen's first time.
Movie.
Right.
That was awesome. I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, and I was talking to Brian about it this morning a little bit. We were chatting, and I'm like, they couldn't make that movie today.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so just chock full of,
it's very
gender
gaudy.
stereotypes and all that other kind of stuff. And yeah, they play at, objectifying women because they're going to be rock stars and all that stuff. But that these two guys don't really think that. I mean, this is a movie, right? Yeah. But if they had tried to make that today, people would have been fucking pissed, and they would have tried to cancel this shit, and it's just like, it's just, when is, dirty jokes are dirty jokes for a reason, because they're dirty, right? Sexual jokes, are funny to a lot of people.
The bad part is all this stems from joking in the workplace when it's inappropriate.
Right.
Like I know, I'm sure this happens a lot of places, but it also doesn't happen a lot of places. And that's what doesn't get the starlight in this whole ordeal. Yeah. And that may seem negative, but there is a lot of places in companies, enterprise, wherever at, that this shit does not happen on a regular basis, that women are respected all over the place. Yeah. Women are actually a charge of men, and they treat men like shit. There is another side to this that people also don't ever see. So, right. So maybe you and I can't interpret what a female goes through on a regular basis. Maybe we can't interpret what a black male goes through on a regular basis when it comes to racism, stuff like that. Maybe we can't. I don't know.
No, I know what you're saying. It's hard to sympathize. You can empathize. Yeah. But yeah, so it's like, I get it. You can sympathize with people. You can empathize with people. And all that stuff, but I mean, unless they're sitting here trying to say that all these jokes were put in by these college frat dudes, which sure, I could see a lot of these jokes being made by those type of people coming up with that. But I mean, do they have any type of record of who actually created them, or are they just saying that nope, these are just representative of, frat boy mentality, and we don't want that in our game anymore? And it's just like...
Did they actually use that terminology?
That was in the initial lawsuit. I don't think it was frat boy. Or it was. I think so. The initial thing that cracked all this shit open, it was like... Or, I don't know if it was like frat boy, but it was that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like the bro culture.
That's like whenever they referred to... Remember when Trump had all his... fallout issues in the beginning of his presidency, where he said grab somebody by the something, and he called it locker room
Yeah.
chat, or I don't know, something like
Yeah,
that. That's
which-
what I thought. Yeah, which I guess is the same thing. I don't know.
Right. It's crude humor that typically occurs in a certain type of thing, but it's just like I'm not like that, but I enjoy, it's like me and a friend of mine, and this guy's, he's 30 years older than I am, and we've worked together and we play bagpipes together and all that stuff. And,
100?
yeah,
he's
shut up.
100.
Shut up. But he, it's like we talk and we've basically boiled down everything. And it's like the world boils down to nothing but dick and fart jokes, right?
It really does.
Yeah.
And it's just like you go back to fucking cave paintings, maybe not cave paintings, but like Egyptian, but like, like
pictures of my fart and there's a dick drawn on it.
like hieroglyphics and stuff like that. It's like there's a lot of crude humor that's just been around for a long time, and maybe that doesn't excuse it, and maybe somebody's just going to come out and say, well, that's because it was a patriarchal society and it was the guys doing it. And it's just like it's just a part of the culture of being in the world.
I thought everybody likes fart jokes.
I thought so,
get it.
too.
Dick jokes are hilarious too, but they're very much more like.
And I think that there's a way to do these.
You go with a fart joke first. You don't want an icebreaker with a dick joke. It's just
You want them to be nearly vomiting, when you lay the dick joke on them, so that they don't really understand. No, I don't know. You got to incapacitate them with the gas.
Oh my god.
there you go.
Oh my god.
Then knock them out with that good joke.
But it's just like, I forgot what I was going to say. God damn it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it was, I don't know. It's just like, I feel that.
It feels weird, doesn't it? Though overall, it just feels odd.
It does.
Things going on, all these changes and stuff. It feels weird.
Just the whole concept of people saying something and then it haunting them for the rest of their fucking lives and just destroying things because they were trying to be funny and it fell flat, or it used to be acceptable to make jokes about that and now it's not. It's just like when, people like younger people watched Friends when it was on whatever and they're like, this show's stupid. Everything in here is like horrible, the way they treat each other and all that stuff. And
What,
just
Friends?
there's a lot of body shaming type stuff in there, and just I mean, some stuff, sure, like
Really? I don't remember that.
yeah. I mean, it wasn't like, I don't think overt, but a lot of like the subtleties of it or whatever were not necessarily good.
Huh.
But I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know.
It's funny because I was a fat kid in like middle school, and I remember getting my ass handed to me on a regular fucking basis about being fat. Like, and it was daily. So, but at this point in my fucking life, like, it doesn't hold me back. And I'm sorry, like, if anything, I know what PTSD is.
Yeah.
And maybe I have actually felt it to a certain extent before for certain other reasons, but one of the things that I have grown to pass is situations like that, especially when you're at that age where you're more emotionally vulnerable, right? It should be a lifelong thing. And even though I can remember it, it definitely has never held me back or anything. And I sure as hell have never went back to use it as an excuse for anything else. If anything, I've used it as a teaching lesson to my children growing up.
And,
But that's a whole other story by itself.
It is. And I think some people can handle that. Some people can't. Some people just aren't built that way because they either didn't have the right type of, support structure growing up and all that stuff. So that's not to discount other people's experiences, right? It's like, but for the most part, if we can, one, remove as much of that as we can, because really, people should be raising their kids to not do that. And kids are, you know what? No matter how fucking well you raise your kid and all that stuff, there's going to be somebody out there that's going to do something, and they're
always going to be a dick.
And they're going to go along with it because they don't want to be singled out, And that's just kind of how society works. You know what I mean? It's like you can yell and raise hell about changing society to not do that, but there will always, always, always be people that will go along with somebody else because they don't want to be on the other side. That's just human nature.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with what's going on now. It's like you got people that are in full support of everything they're doing, even if they don't necessarily agree with it, because they don't want to be on the wrong side of history.
Yeah.
You know, and it's as simple as that. And it's just a prime example of, you know, just human nature at work. And you can't get rid of it. You know, it's just like, all right, well, is what it is.
It's exhausting. And a lot of times, you know, I see it's people being shunned. If it's not one way, it's the other way. People are being shunned. And there's just no real solution.
Yeah.
I mean, at least nobody has a real solution to solve the problem. A solution of some form of fucking unity, right? And it's not just on this topic. It's on several different topics. Driving division in this world and country, it's just terrible. So.
Yeah, well, that's just how everything exists now. It's either it's black or white. You know, there's no room for compromise or for just a general understanding. There's no shades of gray for a lot of people.
Michael Jackson wrote a song about that, black or white.
Yeah, and he's dead, so you see what good it did him.
Oh man!
But that whole mentality, whether it's politics, religion, race, gender stuff, sexual orientation, all that stuff. It's either you are, you know, on one side or the other, and just each side just fucking beats the hell out of each other for, you know, whatever reason. And it's just like, you know, you hear people say, it's like, you know, I can't believe that they would do all this stuff. You know, like they talk about how the way they say things and the way they do things is so horrible, but they do it in like the next breath, do the exact same fucking thing. It's the same goddamn thing on both sides. Everybody's the fucking same, doing the same goddamn thing. The only thing that's different is what you're fucking calling them in the talking points. And so it's the same treatment of other people, you know. So, I don't know. I'm done with it. I just want to play video games, and I just want to have fun.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And if we want to tell jokes in our own little circles, let us tell jokes in our own little circles. Right?
As long as your jokes are not intended to put somebody down, right? If you're telling jokes at somebody's expense, you know, whatever. But if it's just because it's funny, you know, and you find it funny, and it, you know, and it's benign and all that stuff, fine, whatever. So, I don't think, Kristen, I don't think you've played much more New World, have you?
No,
Brian,
I haven't
have you?
hated myself enough to.
Yeah, they tons of new. I sat and chopped trees for lunch today.
Really?
Is that all you're doing is chopping trees and stuff? I was going to ask if there was
level 37 to level 52 while I was eating lunch, chopping trees. That's lumberjacking level, not level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another great segue.
So I guess you haven't really got any new type of like perspective on it or anything. Like nothing really. I just don't.
I mean, I'm still in the same zone. So there's like 6, 7, 8 zones total, as far as I can tell. And I'm still in the same first zone. So all I've really been doing is just collecting and crafting for the most part. I think there's some sort of storyline that goes through. I have 2 spots where I got to run like 2,000 kilometers away.
Oh,
and
geez.
I'm like, kilometers?
I don't know.
2 kilometers. Sorry, 2 kilometers. 2,000 kilometers. Not fucking 2,000 kilometers.
Kilometers.
As soon as, like a second after I said that, I'm like, I'm an
That's too
idiot.
far.
Jim won't cut it out. So, yeah. So there's 2 spots where I'm like, oh god, that's gonna take like 10 minutes to run there. I'm like, I don't want to go there yet. So I just started chopping some trees. So And fishing. Oh, the fishing is fun. I really like the fishing. I caught a chest last night. It was really weird. Because you grab, well, you fish, and it gives you, the screen. If you can see it going out in the water, you got a little circle here, and it's almost like a diaphragm that squeezes in and thins out as it stretches on the tension of the line. So you
so
have
it's like a cross section
circle.
of the string as the string stretches.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, and then you got a whole progress circle that you have to get through to catch the fish. So it'll click when it bites. You click it, and then you hold, and that diaphragm will start to stretch up. And as soon as it gets in a red spot, you could snap. You just let go and let it. So it's like trying to get the fish to wear out a little bit before you reel it in. So some are harder and some are easier. And yeah, sure as hell. Well, they also have fishing hotspots, like little,
like schools of fish.
Yeah, like the way WoW does, right?
Right.
It's very it's like a circle, and it's just random placed, and there's a bunch of jumping fish, which I think is kind of dumb. It kind of ruins the experience of the game, but it's there, and I fished in it last night, and then I reeled in fucking chest because you grab it at the very end, and you raise it up like in Zelda, It's like Zelda 64 or some shit, and you raise it up and look at it, and it's like he grabs the chest like it weighs, half a pound. He pulls it up and looks at it, and then he sticks it in his belt. And I'm like, oh, that was weird. So, but it was cool though. Like I didn't know you could get that. But yeah, no, I'm having fun. There's still a lot of it's really still mysterious. It's really cool. It doesn't actually tell you. It doesn't go out of its way to show you how exactly to do everything. Like you kind of get the hint, even in crafting. All the crafting stations are right there in town together. But even collecting and turning in stuff for the town as the little missions they have. I haven't found a spot where I can go and see how many bunnies I've killed. I got to kill 15, I know, but I don't see a spot where I can tell how many I've killed for the town quest. Like a main quest, it'll tell you that. But some of these side quests, it doesn't. So it's just hey, go out there, do some of this shit. And there's all kinds of, there's 10 different things you can do. And it cycles every time you finish one that will contribute back to the town, give you some experience, give you some coin and stuff like that. But for the most part, it really does feel I kind of felt earlier I needed to write something down on my desk and keep up with it. And I kind of like that. I kind of like the whole, I have to be a little bit more involved in the process, to accomplish something.
Yeah, almost like the real world.
Well, even in still their trading post, which I guess is their auction house. You can set up sell or buy orders.
Yeah. It's like Guild Wars,
which is kind of okay. Yeah. So if something's out there and I can fulfill it for the price that I'm okay with, I can fulfill that buy order. So, and otherwise just sell everything. But what I haven't found yet, and I'm probably just missing this. Oh, no. I figured it out. Never mind. I was gonna say you can't sell shit on a vendor. You sell it in your inventory. If you salvage your stuff, you get a little bit of coin or material or some shit. It's really weird. I'm not sure how I feel about that part yet, but I think I found that out yesterday or today at some point. Because I'm this whole I can't sell shit to a vendor thing's really getting old. But yeah, it was you just clicked an item in your inventory and you can salvage it. Just right there. So, but you can also repair your stuff on the fly as well. It costs coin and something else, some kind of material to do it, but you can repair your stuff because I was chopping trees and my axe fucking destroyed twice. And it had a bonus on it. So yeah, I finally realized that you could actually repair it instead of making a new one.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's but again, like I'm easygoing. I'm not really trying to like go out of my way to figure out the game and max out. I'm like level 18 now. I think the max is 60. But yeah, no, I'm digging it, I guess. If it was a subscription, I don't think I would be as interested because at that point, I don't think I would want to get invested in it.
Right.
Like if I have to get invested in something, I'm going to go back to WoW for a subscription. So
Yeah.
it'd have to be a Star Wars Galaxies, fresh Star Wars Galaxies to pull me back in at that level. So,
Yeah.
but no, it's not too bad.
All right. Well, good. I mean, I'm glad you're enjoying it. You know, it's good to hear that there's something out there that's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't like the fact that they made multiple currencies. That was just annoying to me.
Wait, what?
Multiple
The fast travel
currencies.
currency
Like,
stuff.
Fast travel currency is not the same as like you need to do stuff to get that currency. You know.
Yeah, I still don't know how to get that
You
because
gotta
you
do
can
quests.
actually use. So you can use that stuff to. You can use that stuff to also improve what you're crafting as well.
Yeah, and to respec.
Oh, so they give you a limited currency.
Yes.
And then make you use it for everything.
You can
Yes.
respec for free until level 20.
Yes. And then after that, it costs.
But yeah, so so it maybe just be blended into the rewards you get, but I haven't actually seen it. I've seen getting coin if it's
Yeah.
I don't know if it's called gold or whatever the fuck it is, but I've seen that come through every single time. I have not seen that thing, whatever it is. I don't remember what it's called.
Begins with an A.
Azoth.
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
Yeah. I haven't actually seen it come through when I complete anything yet. So
Yeah, I haven't done anything.
because I just know I had some a few days ago and I used it to craft something and then it went to 0 and I couldn't use it again. But
Yeah.
I've still like I've fast traveled like 3 times now since I bought the game. So
So you must have had some. You got it. You get it from doing quests. Is what
yeah,
I
no,
was
that's what I'm
told.
saying. I know I've had some. I just
Yeah.
don't recall like exactly where it comes from because it doesn't feel like it comes from regular. It may come from streamline quests, like
Right.
you know,
Main quests
first-hand
or something
quests,
like that.
but-
Yeah.
but like main quests are literally one of 7 different types.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can have your what are they called? Faction. You have your faction quests. They have PvP and PvE faction quests. Then they have town. There's tons of town quests that you can fulfill. And then there are group event things or some shit that you can do as well out in the world. So yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's going to probably wrap it up for us today. It's going to be a little bit shorter this week. Not a lot going on. You can check us out at facebook.com/server-restart-in or send us a tweet at server_restart. And we'll go ahead and extend everybody's favorite fish another week. So anyway, thanks everybody for listening, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.